Hello, our group is going to present on a second step, and I am Gisela, and our group members are also Paul, Gabriela, Lisbeth, and Yesenia. So to introduce what Second Step program is about, the Second Step family of programs helps make social emotional learning part of a child's daily life in and outside of the classroom. So some things that this works on is gaining confidence, setting goals, making better decisions, collaborating with others in work and play, and navigating the world more effectively. Second Step helps children sort through complicated emotions, make sound decisions, and build positive relationships and manage strong feelings. When implemented holistically, SEL can create positive systemic change that builds safe learning environments and addresses the needs of children, educators, and communities. So if you look at the diagram, it is holistic in that it is characterized by comprehension of parts of something as intimately interconnected and expressible only by reference to the whole. So we have, in order for this program to work, parents are a part along with the students. And there is out of school time, not just school time, that is implemented with this program. And it builds up with the age groups starting at the early learning level all the way to high school. It is designed to reduce impulsive, high risk, and aggressive behaviors and increase children's social competence and other protective factors. SEL concepts provide an extra dimension to education. It focuses on improving cooperation, communication, and decision-making. In a world where emotional intelligence is critical for lifelong happiness, successful careers, and healthier relationships, SEL gives students a framework for developing these skills through the Second Step program.
How is the Second Step program implemented in schools? For elementary schools, they have a digital program, which is just many lessons plans that the teachers can choose from. And they have a classroom kit, which is age-appropriate lesson plans, which includes like books and videos that the kids can interact with. For the younger age group, they're more focused on the social emotional learning. And then while in the more older age group, it's more focused on the critical thinking and checking for understanding. Just like in the slide, for middle school, it's more of talking about like bullying and harassment, thoughts on emotions and decisions, managing relationships and social conflict, where the students are asked to think what their thoughts are on certain topics and try to find either solutions or just be able to notice what the topics are about.
Examples of implementation, we got the weekly DIN card, and this is basically the lessons and what they do every week. And they use these cards, and these cards, it tells you specific what you're gonna do every day. So for example, day one, if you do like early learning or elementary, they give you puppets, and you can use the puppets and you can do the puppet scripts, and you can do it and when it's circle time or carpet time. And it's like one example, it can be if you're doing the listening rules, you can use the puppets and you can show it to the kids using the puppets. For the day two, you can do the stories or class, or you can do the discussion in the class, and also you can do it in the carpet. You can do it with the book, or again, you can discuss with the kids about the listening rules, and basically you can use your cards for them to show you, to see if they understand the expectations when they're sitting down in the carpet. And then for day three, you use the skills practice. So the skill practice basically is if they can listen, if they can focus. It can be it depends on the lesson that you're doing that week. So like using the sample of listening. So for example, when I was working at the early learning, the kids, they already know this skill. So when I point to my eyes, they already know that eyes needs to be watching on me. When I point my ears, they already know that they need to be listening. And then if I put my finger closer to my mouth, they already know that their voice needs to be quiet. And these skills, you use them also for day 3 and for day 4, you practice. So for day 5, you can do it again. You can do like a book. And also they provide you the books. The books with a lesson that you do it that week. And it's very important that you guys use those skills every day.
So like mentioned before, Second Step program is meant to be taught for 28 weeks in each grade level, starting from kindergarten and up. But unfortunately, there is several reasons there's a gap, because not every school in the country implements this program, or even within a school district, not every teacher has the full resources to implement this program. For example, in Fresno Unified School District, they are a school district that implements Second Step, but there is teachers that don't either have the kits or receive the kits but haven't received proper training to actually implement it into their daily lessons. And also another gap could be is that a lot of teachers are pressured to do testing and on the major components like math, science, and language arts. So sometimes there's not enough time to implement a Second Step program as well. And unfortunately, because this program is meant to be built upon lessons, if students did not get those lessons every day or didn't get it that year, the following year, they're going to be lost and they're not going to know exactly how to understand these lessons, and they'll be behind. So that is a reason that to prevent this gap is that all the teachers need to get the kits, all the teachers need to get the proper training. So throughout the curriculum in every single grade, everyone's implementing this program so it could be truly successful.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no, my microphone wasn't working. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the connection between the Second Step program and the theories or theoretical concepts that connect the two. First and foremost, Second Step program, it supports like children's needs and the learning environment, as well as home and community, as all of my colleagues have mentioned before. And Second Step, as we know it, one must first master a skill to move on to the next skill. So like Yesenia said, and like, for example, all the lesson plans within a unit, let's put, say, empathy unit, for example, one cannot identify anger until they have successfully identified feelings. So it's a scaffolding, and we'll talk a little bit more about Vygotsky in a little bit, but basically children are given opportunities to learn the skill through a group instruction and apply the skill during individual or social interactions. And we know that Second Step program, Jean Piaget and Liv Vygotsky support the idea that children are active in their learning and that they play an active role in their discovery of new understandings. So Piaget's constructivist theory suggests that children learn by adapting or when they are able. So they develop through independent exploration, And the second step program offers that flexibility for children to practice and make sense of the skills that's been taught to them, independently use it in their environment. So in that case, knowledge construction is an active creative process that children experience when interacting with their environment. And also the second step builds on a child's zone of proximal development. In the case of Vygotsky, one cannot, like I said, be expected to master a skill that is outside the scope of the appropriate level of challenge for them. And children learn better with provided guidance and instruction, which means children can solve problems first by seeing adults do it, model it, and then they get to practice it, and then also observe their peers who are already have the concept of the skill in order to utilize it. And the second step program is the perfect example of Vygotsky's theory, as it provides opportunities for that scaffolding, where it's we must learn one skill first in order to move up to the next one, and it just builds on once we do that. And second step program does that very well, and it also provides opportunities for the cooperative learning piece of education. But those are just some of the two, Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. And I think that concludes our PowerPoint. This is just some of the resources that we added through like our search and our findings. We use some resources from class, and also like the Fresno Unified's resources account through our account. So that's it.